begin Chapter 7, Section 2. Problem number 1. A card is drawn from a standard deck of 52 playing cards. Find the probability that the card is a 10 or a heart. So find the probability that the card is a 10 or a heart. So again, we have 4 10s in a deck of 52. So 4 over 52 plus we have 13 hearts plus 13 over 52 minus both 10 and heart. We only have one that is a 10 heart. So minus 1 over 52. Now doing that calculation, we have 16 over 52, which is 0.3077. The next problem, find the probability that the card is a 7 or a queen. So the probability the card is a 7 or a queen. So here, how many queens do we have and how many 7s? We have 4 7s out of a deck of 52. So 4 out of 52 plus how many queens? We have 4 queens. So 4 over 52, and again we can't have both 7 and queen, so we don't subtract anything. So here we just add 4 plus 4, which is 8 over 52, which is equal to 1.1538. The next problem, find the probability that the card is a red or diamond. So probability the card is a red or a diamond. So how many red cards do we have? We have 26 red cards. So 26 over 52. Plus diamonds, we have 13 diamonds out of 52. Now minus both. How many red and diamond? We have 13 that are red diamonds. So minus 13 over 52. And that is equal to 26 over 52, which is 0.50. Find the probability that the card is a 5 or black. So probability the card is a 5 or black. How many 5s do we have? We have 4 5s out of a deck of 52. Plus how many blacks? We have 26 out of 52. And then minus both black and 5. We have 2 that are black and 5. We have spades and clubs that are both black, so we subtract those 2. So 2 over 52, and calculating that total, we have 28 over 52, which is 0.5385. Moving on to problem number 2. Tammy is a general contractor and has submitted 2 bids for projects A and B. The probability of getting project A is 0.65. The probability of getting project B is 0.77. The probability of getting at least one is 0.90. Again, remember, at least means one or the other. And what is the probability that she will get both? So remembering our formula, we have the probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus both probability of A and B. So let's plug in our numbers. Again, we have the OR, which is 0.90, is that she will get at least one. So 0.90 is equal to the probability of A, which we found it to be 0.65, plus the probability of B is 0.77 minus both, which is our unknown. So doing our calculations, adding 0.65 plus 0.77 and then subtracting it for 0.90, we calculated that our A and B is equal to 0.52. Number 3, assume you are taking 2 courses this semester, A and B. The probability you will pass course A is 0.835. The probability you will pass both courses is 0.276. The probability you will pass at least one is 0.981. Again, remember the at least means one or the other. What is the probability you will pass course B? So again, our formula is A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of both A and B. So plugging that into our equation here, we have the OR is 0.981 is equal to the probability of A, which is 0.835, plus the probability of B, which is our unknown, and the probability of A and B, again we found the both is 0.276. So doing the calculations, 0.835 minus that and then subtracting it from the other side, we found the probability of B to equal to 0.422. Moving on to number 4. Here we have the following table that shows 3 different degree programs and whether they're graduate or undergraduate. So before we can answer these questions, let's determine the total. So the total of undergraduate is 400. The total of graduate is 100. Total of business is 200. Total of engineering is 175. And total of arts and sciences is 125, which gives you a total of 500. So what is the probability that a randomly selected student is a graduate or has a business major? So the probability that he is a graduate or business, so we have to find the probability of graduate. Probability of graduate is 100 over the total of 500 plus the probability he is business. Total business is 200, so plus 200 over 500 minus both grad and business. So grad and business is 50, so you have to subtract that 50 over 500. Doing the calculation, you have 250 over 500, which is equal to 0.50. The next problem, what is the probability that the student is an undergraduate or engineering? So the probability that the student is an undergraduate or an engineering. So we do the same thing. We have to find the probability of the total undergraduate. And total undergraduate is we have 400. 400 total undergraduate. 400 over 500 plus total engineering, we have 175 over 500 minus both undergraduate and engineering. Undergraduate and engineering is 150. So minus 150 over 500. Doing that calculation, we have 425 over 500, which is equal to 0.85. Now the last one from number 4, find the probability that the student is a business or has an arts and science major. So here the probability that he is a business or arts and science major. So the total for business is 200. So we have 200 out of 500. And total of arts and sciences is 125 over 500. And here we don't subtract anything because there's no both business and art and science. So we just add the two, 200 plus 125, and that is 325 over 500, which is 0.65 probability that he is business or arts and sciences. Looking at number 5, here you have a table given gender and marital status of 200 customers. So let us calculate the total males. Total males is 120. Total females is 80. And total single is 50. Total married is 150, which gives you a total of 200 customers. What is the probability that the customer is a male or single. So probability that he is a male or a single customer. So you have to find out the total probability of male, which is 120 over 200, plus the probability that he is single, which is 50. So 50 out of 200 minus both male and single. So male and single is 20. So 20 out of 200. So doing that calculation, you have 150 over 200, which is 0.75. And the last problem for number 5, what is the probability of finding a married or female customer? So probability that the customer is married or female. So female or married. So here we need to find out the total female. So total female is 80. So 80 over 200 plus total married. Total married is 150 over 200 minus both female and married. So female and married is 50. So minus 50 over 200. And doing that calculation, you have 180 over 200, which is equal to 0.90. And that completes Chapter 7, Section 2.